one video to get you started with 3D design software. The previous videos about building an autonomous toy car got several million views in total. Starting today, I will mix in a series of diaries covering practical full-stack skills. How to quickly use 3D design software, how to design an electrical architecture, choose components, how to draw circuit schematics, how to lay out a peasant seep, and later some basics and hands-on practice with neural networks, plus tips for using coding agents. So without wasting time, let's start with the first video in this series, Mechanical 3D Design. I believe that after watching this video, you'll be able to draw your first 3D model within 10 minutes, even if you have never touched 3D modeling before. When people hear 3D design, many of them immediately think, first, find a design software. Wrong. Do not start by downloading software. Start by building the mindset of 3D design. Remember this, any design software is just a tool. Just a tool. Do not be scared by a complicated interface or a pile of unfamiliar names. First, clear your mind and look at your phone. It is basically a cuboid. Where does a cuboid come from? Can we draw a rectangle on a flat plane, then pull it upward to give it height? Once we do that, the rectangle becomes a cuboid. Now look at a cup. It is basically a cylinder with a middle hollowed out. How could we draw it? First, draw a circle on the plane, then extrude it upward, and it becomes a cylinder. Next, draw a slightly smaller circle on the top face of that cylinder, then cut downward. Remember, do not cut too deep, otherwise it becomes a pipe instead of a cup. So by drawing a flat shape, extruding it, and then cutting material away, we get a cup. Did you notice that up to this point, we still have not opened any design software? In fact, once you understand these three most basic operations, you can already do a lot of mechanical or structural design work. Different software may use slightly different names, but in most Exos tools, they are generally called sketch, extrude, and cut. Now you can finally choose a piece of software and try it. There are many mechanical design tools such as SolidWorks and so on, but these tools can be painful to install and official licenses are very expensive. So in this video, I will first use an online design tool called Onshape. In the next episode, I will demonstrate the same idea in SolidWorks. When you open Onshape, do not worry about all those messy buttons. Follow your own logic. First sketch, then extrude or cut. Find the boot button. To create a sketch, we need a plane. In the 3D coordinate system, there are three basic planes. For example, we can choose the top plane. Next, we need to draw a shape. Shapes are made of lines. There can be straight lines, curves, and so on. So let's look for what kinds of drawing tools this software gives us. This software is quite user-friendly. It lets us draw a rectangle directly. Let's select it and try drawing out a closed region, and the sketch is basically done. If you want to give it a size, look for a button that looks like a dimension tool. This one looks right, sprigging. Now, I want to set the distance between these two edges, so I will try clicking the two edges. And yes, it works. In the same way, we can set the size of the other two edges. After the sketch is done, click the check mark. Next, to turn it into a cuboid, we need to extrude it and give it height. So let's look for the extrude button. Here it is. Inside extrude, there are several options. Since we want to extrude something, we need to choose which sketch to extrude. So we select the sketch. Now hold the right mouse button and rotate the view a little. It really has become a cuboid. Let's try changing the parameter. The extrusion height changes the direction, and the extrusion direction changes too. If I want to hollow up the middle and turn it into a box, what should I do? Shouldn't I first draw a rectangle on the top face of this box, and then cut it downward? So we click while again, choose a face, select rectangle and set the size. Then find the cut operation, select the sketch and set the cut depth to see the result. Now a box has taken shape. In fact, the autonomous toy car from my previous videos is built in the same way. The frame, suspension, chassis, battery compartment, and motor brackets are all gradually built up from simple operations like these. But this cuboid may still look a bit ugly. It is too square, too rigid, and not very elegant. There seems to be a button in this row called Fillet Gain. You can select an edge. Now it does look better. Alright, at this point the door to 3D model design has fully opened for you. You have already found the three most important basic operations. All the other buttons are just extra tools that help you create more complex shapes. Today's video is only an introduction. The goal is to help you build the mindset of 3D modeling. Once that mindset is built, different software tools are mostly the same underneath. Let's return to the point. We started with software is only a tool. Do not begin by memorizing interfaces, shortcuts, and a bunch of obscure terms. Such spirit is supposed to serve us. And we 3D model must still follow basic drawing logic. If a piece of software breaks away from that basic logic, it is not necessarily because you cannot learn it. Maybe the software is just poorly designed. When you want to do something, but cannot find the right button, or you do not know what the function is called, do not immediately doubt yourself. We both criticize the software engineers a little. Maybe they are the ones who made the tool awkward to use. After this small warm-up episode, you should already be able to start drawing 3D models directly. But if you want to use these tools more efficiently, we still need to talk about constraints in 3D modeling, as well as many other useful features. We will continue with those in the next episode.